Hello everyone, so we're going to continue on with our computing unit today. We're going to put some finishing touches to our level, and then we will have the opportunity to share and assess our peers' games. So what I'd like you to do is to log into Purple Mesh. You should have completed the do now, and then go into 2DIY 3D, launch the app, click My Game, and then open up your last save file. So you can see mine is at the top there. So hopefully you've got lots of copies of your game. And then you can see this hasn't changed very much since I was last with you. And what you'll notice that when we actually go into play our game to preview it, we still get this blank instruction screen here. And this is what I mean by the finishing touches. And we'll also be able to change the number of lives and any extra sound effects we want to add in as well. So if I click off this, and then what I can do, I can click on the icon here at the side of where it says level 1 out of 1. Now, yes, you will have an opportunity to add more levels at a later date, but so far you should have only made one level so far. So click on the book, and then you'll see you get this preview of the instruction screen. And what you can do, you can change the color of the boxes. So I want it to match my ancient Egyptian theme a bit more. So I want to change the colors like this and like so. Just so it's a little bit more in keeping. There are quite a few colours you could choose from, so just have a little play around with it and see what you like the look of. And then we need to add in our title and our instructions. So I know we've not designed any more than one level at the moment, but you can think ahead to that now. And I don't think I want all of my levels to be an ancient Egyptian theme. I think I want my character to feel as though they're exploring different parts of the world and different sites. So I don't want to make my title too specific about this particular level. Of course, if you're not sure what you want to do next, then you can keep it specific and you could change it later. Or if you have a theme that you're really happy with and you want to just make the different levels harder around that theme, then you can make that title match. So whatever you envision for the remaining development part of your game, have a title that reflects it. You can always change it at a later point. So I'm going to call mine Relic Hunter, because I want my character, the user, to feel like they're an explorer who's traveling around the world. You can change the size of the font here by clicking on the A. So I think I might want mine a bit bigger, 56, and you can change the font as well. This one's slightly more old-fashioned, this one. And you can just try different ones to see how they look. Then in this box here, so again, you can change the font type and size, but I think it's better to type in first and change that later. So think of it in two sections. You want an introduction, and you also want instructions too. The introduction to give the user a sense of the storyline that is behind the game, why they're in that scenario, and instructions so your user knows what they're collecting and what they're avoiding. So for our introduction, I've already told you what I want the premise of my game to be, and we just want to type that up so it sounds engaging and the user will want to click on our game and play it. So think about all the different devices that we've been learning about in writing, you know, rhetorical questions, interesting openers, modal verbs, so then you can sound bossy, use of exclamations to make it sound exciting as well. So I'm just going to say you, so using the second person, you are a famous, actually let's go world renowned explorer and on the hunt for priceless artifacts. However, beware. There are a few surprises in store. Oh, sorry, there we go. An ellipsis. So I've not given away too much yet about what surprises they may be, but I've hinted that it's not going to be completely straightforward and easy. Now for our instructions. So you want to make this really clear now. So you just want to tell your user what you want them to collect and what you want them to avoid. So collect all of the treasure and avoid the enemies who are trying to stop you before time runs out, or before it's too late. Yeah, before it's too late. I'm going to just read that back. You are a world-renowned explorer on the hunt for priceless artifacts. However, beware, there are a few surprises in store. Collect all of the treasure and avoid the enemies who are trying to stop you before it's too late. So I'm quite happy with that. You can change the size of the font now as well. That's a bit better. Make this title a bit bigger as well, because I had quite a lot of space at the bottom. I don't want to leave it too blank. And I think that looks all right. I'm quite happy with that. So a few things to change now. The number of lives that you want your player to have. So if you click on the heart down here, you can change it down to 1 by using the arrows, or up to 5. Obviously 5, you're giving your player more chances. 1 is quite mean. I wouldn't go as low as 1 personally. I think 3 is quite reasonable. You can also change the time limit, so not only do they have to contend with enemies in the maze, but also they have to get out quite quickly perhaps, or you might even have one where there's no enemies at all and it's just a quick time limit, but I think especially if you have the enemies. And the fastest time is 10 seconds, which is too short really, and the longest time is 30 minutes, which is too long. So I want to stick mine around the 4, maybe 3 minute mark, so I'll just see what feedback I get on my 4 minutes, like so. And then there are finally some sounds to think about. So when this instruction screen pops up, you can have it so it actually plays a small tune. So if you click on the microphone here, add a voiceover, so you can record yourself reading out your instructions if you wanted to, or you could record kind of theme music for your game, I suppose, or you've got sound effects here that you can have play when the screen pops up. So for instance this one, I'm not sure if you can hear it, but I'll play it now. I think I want that one as the screen pops up. Sorry if you couldn't hear it, I'm not sure if it picks up on the recording I'm using. And then the next one would be the game over. So when your character, or if the player loses all of their lives, what sound do they hear when that screen pops up? So this is the default one, which I'm quite happy to keep. And then the level completed one, I'm going to keep this one, it's how it sounds. And again, you can browse all of these by using this drop down menu, going into different sound effects and playing them, but I'm not going to do that with you today because I think it's really up to you how you want to use them. Once you're happy, make sure to click OK, not cancel, because then you'll lose everything. And then you can preview your game and just, I'm quite happy with that, how that's popped up. And my game's still working. Just check that your hearts are there if you've added them or removed them and so on. I would recommend that with your instruction screen, be really careful that you've not got any typing errors or you've not missed any punctuation or misspelt anything, because that will really detract from the quality of your game for when obviously other players view it. So please make sure that you do read it carefully. You don't want that to let people down before they've even played it. So what I'd like you to do is pause the video here, load up to DIY 3D, add in your instructions, add in, decide how many lives you want your player to have, the time limit and any last sound effects you want. Make sure you're and then do one final playthrough of your game. Just check that you're happy with everything the way that it is, and then come back to me once you're ready for the next part of our lesson. Okay, so what we are ready for now is we are going to post our work to a class blog. Then you can play your classmates' games, see what they've been up to over the past couple of weeks. Then you can leave them feedback on that, and then you will also be having your game played by your classmates and receiving feedback too. With this feedback then in the next lesson, we're going to then act on it, make any improvements to our games, and then think about adding in further detail. So to do that, you need to click on your menu. I would recommend saving it now actually. So I'm going to save mine as version 5, like so. And you might want to save it in a couple of places. So I've saved it to my work. You might want to save it to your class file as well, but definitely in your own work. And then you want to go back to that menu and go to share. And then you're given 4 options. You want to click on blog about your work here. And then you get another pop-up option again. So hopefully, if this has worked, you will have an icon here, computing first level submissions. That's what you want to send it to. and it's really specific. It's the first level submissions, and then you'll see that you get a post like this, and it has your game embedded in it. You shouldn't be able to edit other people's games, I believe. I did this last year, and I don't think we had, or the year before, we didn't have any issues with this. And then you want to give it a title. My first level, there, summary, please play my, let me know what you think. Okay, and then I want to save and publish that game. Your blog post has been added to the blog. Sorry about the abrupt change of screen. I've had a little technical issue just then. So what you might want to do, well, what I would actively encourage you to do at this point, is to actually go and access that blog. So really easy to find this. You just type in /blog in the search bar, as you can see over here, and then it brings up this program over here like this, and you can see that there are a couple of class blogs here. This is probably the teacher view. I'm not sure how you see this. I basically want to click on the computing first level submissions one. This is definitely the teacher view, and there's nothing here that you can see everything anyway. And then this is how the blog looks right now. Obviously it's a couple of days before your lesson, so I'm not expecting anything else to be here. And you've got the summary of what the blog is about, and then also the first level submissions. It is class specific because I can't access the other two classes. I only have access to Liverpool class, so I'll set those up with the two classes, and there'll be this pinned post at the top. So this is just to give you an overview of what is expected of you when you are submitting to this particular blog. So you are going to submit only the first level. Please remember, I've been very specific, only the first level please is being submitted, and then your objective then is to widely test and play your classmates' games. So please spend the rest of this session for this computing testing those games. It might need us to kind of go in between for the rest of the week to as we get all those approved and uploaded, but really it's an opportunity to test and play the games. Once you played the level, please give that person detailed feedback and make sure you let them know not only what you really enjoyed, and there will be things about everyone's designs that we can celebrate, but also something that will actually help them improve it, because you're playing it from a different point of view, and sometimes it takes someone noticing something that you would never have seen yourself just to point it out. Of course, please use polite and kind words when you do this, as I know that you will. We peer edit in school quite regularly, but it's really important that we get the tone right, as it is more difficult online. Things sometimes come across in a way we don't intend them to. So remember, really polite, kind words. People have been working really hard on these for the past couple of weeks, but it is important that we do let people know ways they can improve or what they could do next as a tip. So I've got some questions for you to think about when you do this. The first one, is it user friendly? So can you understand do you understand what you're doing? Does it make sense? Is it good for a beginner? Are the enemies too difficult, too easy, or just right? Because there is such a thing as minimal challenge, things being too easy, but then we want to make sure that it is balanced. Is the layout appropriate? Can you access all of the treasure, or is it blocked off in certain areas? What do you think of the design choices? Have they got white backgrounds in things when, they could maybe remove it if they went into the design tool? Is it fair? Does it feel and look professional? Have they got spelling mistakes in it? Have they got, again, those white spaces, and that they could spend a bit more time on just to make it look a bit more polished? Is the reward and punishment system fair? Do you only get one heart and there are a huge group of enemies that you need to avoid, and it doesn't really seem balanced? But please make sure you do play the games widely, and play a lot of people's as well, and don't just play your closest friends. You want to branch out and make sure that everyone is benefiting from your feedback, and especially if you see that someone doesn't have as many comments or as reviews yet as someone else, then make sure their game is one that you look at straight away. Because really, imagine how you would feel if you didn't really have many comments on yours. You wouldn't really know what to improve on or how to change it. So please make sure you do spend that time doing that. With that though, please be patient because we need to approve the posts as they come on, and obviously your class teacher might be recording the lesson at that time, so please be patient, and it might be something that we have to revisit throughout the week, because obviously in a live computing lesson in school your teacher would be able to approve things in real time. So please be patient with us on this, and we'll see how it works, and try not to get too frustrated if it is taking a little bit of time. But anyway, have fun, and then obviously don't act on any of the feedback, don't go past that point, just play the games that are in the posts, comment on them. So I did try and load this earlier, and this is what, oh, it's going to exit completely, isn't it? So if I go back to home, oh there we go, you just click on someone's blog post and it'll bring up their game. When I did try this before, it was taking quite a long time to load, and I'm not sure if it's because I'm recording currently as well. And you can see there's a couple of options. It's playing in high quality. Oh, here we go. Fantastic. It didn't do that before, so obviously it just needs to reload it again, and then you can just play that game just like this, and that's how you play it. Once you've played the game, you can type in the comments here. So I really liked this, next time try this, okay, and then post a comment. So anyway, hope you enjoy that, hope you get to see and enjoy lots of other people's games, and I'll be with you in your next lesson, and we can discuss how we can act on that feedback. Okay, take care everybody, have a great weekend, and speak to you next week. Bye bye.